Okay, so I'm Stella with WBRU Providence. I'm at the Newport Folk Festival with Hozier. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, not too bad. Not too bad.
So Newport Folk, it's got a lot of phenomenal acts. It's got a lot of history behind it. What does playing Newport Folk mean to you?
It's a little bit. I'm sure everyone says it's a little bit of a dream come true. All of my influences came through Newport Folk Festival, so all the blues greats and stuff in the '60s. So like Mississippi John Hurt, Skip James, and Muddy Waters, Adam Wolf. I spent so many hours growing up watching footage from Newport, so being at it, playing at it is a very big deal for me.
That's fantastic. So you released Take Me to Church and it takes off online. It's a huge deal. What does the sudden success feel like? What's that feeling?
It's a funny one. It's great. It's fantastic as long as people connect with the song, people enjoy it, job done. But yeah, it's kind of the last year has been so crazy. So you just go with it. You don't get a chance to think about it. But it's a good feeling. Playing the first time we played here in America and stuff, it's a great feeling to see people at the shows and enjoying the music and stuff. That's why you do what you do.
Absolutely. So it's a very powerful song. What does the song mean to you? Why did you write it?
I can't remember exactly what was going through my head, or why there was no objective from I don't know. It's the song is a love song. The song is but it's about organizations like the church. The song really is like a tongue-in-cheek kind of swipe at the church and organizations that would have doctrine that would undermine what it is to be human and the more natural parts. So loving somebody regardless of who that is, or teaching people to be ashamed of themselves, organizations like that. So that's kind of what the song is about, but it's wrapped up in a love song.
Absolutely. And so the music video is very powerful and it's got a lot of attention. It speaks about the horrors of homophobia. It's targeted a little bit towards Russian policy, is that right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So why did you choose that cause in particular to portray?
I guess because I didn't really want the video. The song is more, obviously centered around the church, but organizations that would do that. Right now, what's happening in Russia is just another example of that. It's a more barefaced hatred, and it's violent and it's organized. But I've been following that campaign. I've been following what was going on out there through a campaign by allout.org and stuff. So it just seemed right, and it's another example of and there will always be organizations that do that. So that's what the video was centered around now. And if people learn about it going on through the video, no harm.
Absolutely awesome. So you have a debut solo album coming out.
Yeah, yeah.
So why did you go with solo to debut? How did you use the creative control?
How did I go with solo?
Yeah.
Do you mean like just playing on my own?
Yeah. Did you have were you very involved in producing it yourself?
Yeah. I mean, the Take Me to Church EP, a lot of it, and even on the album, a lot of it's I recorded in the attic at home. So back when I had a lot of time to just write and record. So, and then I got into studio to make it sound as pretty as we could with Rob Kirwan. So I've always that was the first, like Take Me to Church and that release was the first time that I started producing myself, and it worked for me. So I wanted to do it, and kept that formula going. So I just feel better. I think it's something I always wanted to do, and keeping creative control. All the artwork and stuff is either done by a very close friend Stevie Appleby, or my mother does all of the artwork, all the paintings and stuff. It's all done by my mom. So I don't know. Yeah, I guess I don't know. It feels natural. It takes some time, but it's nice to have ownership of those things.
That's wonderful. So your mom's an artist and your father's a musician, right?
Yeah. He doesn't play professionally anymore, but certainly when I was a child, he was a drummer. He played it professionally in Dublin and stuff. And yeah, so that's his kind of musical influence is a big part of my growing up.
That's great. Yeah. So the album has a lot of blues, Chicago blues, and there's also some choral technique. So a lot of intentionality went behind all of the influences then on it.
I suppose, yeah. I mean, it never feels like intention when it's happening, but all the influences are there, I've always loved voices singing together in harmony. The sound of voices singing together, so there's a lot of that on the album, and there's a lot of blues on it too. That's
beautiful. All right, yeah. So you started off at Trinity College, right? And then you left to pursue music. Was that scary? Do you have any advice for students who are considering the same?
It was scary. It wasn't scary. To be honest, I knew that if I had done 4 years of that course, I might end up a teacher. That's as employable as I could be. Was a teacher after a further year of it. So, but I figured even if I did that and was employable, that's always the thing about being a musician or trying to be a musician. You're not that employable. I felt that if I had done those 4 years or 5 years, I would still want to be doing this now, and I would have thrown away 4 years of hard work I could have put at. So I just wanted to get started as early as possible.
That's great. So your lyrics, they talk about relationships and people so intimately and so passionately, and you've said that they're characters, but how do you find that inspiration? How do you meet those characters?
They're sometimes characters. They start very much from myself, I suppose, and they start from personal experience. But it's easier to think of them as characters. It's easier to step away from them, so that I'm not, obviously that a lot of them are written in the first person and stuff. But I think it's just easier when you come away from a song and you can let go of it that way. But they do come from, I suppose, personal experience, But yeah. For questions like that, so you don't have to go explaining things. Saying that they're characters is a much easier way to escape them.
Okay, last question. So you're from Ireland, and your birthday is on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
So is that as incredible as it sounds?
Is it incredible? It's fun. It's certainly fun. I think when you're a child, it's a national holiday at home, so I always had a day off school.
Yeah.
But I suppose when you are an adult, then everyone has plans. So you either host the piss up, as they say, or you miss out. So you kind of no, it's great. It is a lot of fun, and I usually everyone's in the mood to party. So
that's fantastic. Well, we're looking so forward to see you at Lollapalooza in Chicago.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. See you then.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Can I just grab a couple photos?
Of course. Yeah.